Some killers act out of rage, others act on impulse. But a rare few spend years preparing for crimes that may never happen. They hide weapons years in advance, they choose victims they have never met, and they leave almost nothing behind. For more than a decade, one man quietly crossed the United States, flying into cities, renting cars, driving hundreds of miles, living what appeared to be an ordinary life. Behind that ordinary appearance was one of the most organized serial killers modern investigators had ever encountered. His name was Israel Keyes, and even today, nobody knows exactly how many people he murdered. Israel Keyes was born on January 7, 1978, in Richmond, Utah. He spent much of his childhood moving with his family between rural communities in the western United States. His parents chose an isolated lifestyle. The family lived far away from towns. The children were homeschooled. Much of Israel's youth was spent working outdoors, hunting, camping, and learning survival skills. Those skills would later become one of the most frightening aspects of his criminal career. Friends who knew him later described him as intelligent, quiet, self-controlled. Nothing about him suggested he would become one of America's most elusive murderers. During his teenage years, his beliefs changed dramatically. He eventually joined the U.S. Army in the late 1990s. There, he received military training that sharpened his discipline and planning abilities. After leaving the military, he settled in Alaska. He started a construction business. He was in a long-term relationship. He raised a daughter. To neighbors, he appeared responsible and hardworking. Few imagined he was secretly traveling across the country, committing violent crimes. While running his business in Alaska, Keyes began taking mysterious trips. He often paid cash. He avoided using his personal phone whenever possible. He frequently flew into one state, then rented a car, sometimes driving hundreds of miles before returning home. Investigators later discovered that these trips had one terrifying purpose. Years before committing murders, Keyes secretly buried what became known as kill kits. The containers were hidden underground in remote locations across several states. Inside were guns, ammunition, rope, zip ties, cash shovels, cleaning supplies, other tools that could be used during future crimes. Some kits remained buried for years before he returned to retrieve them. This level of preparation was almost unheard of. He wasn't simply planning individual murders, he was building a nationwide system, one designed to help him avoid detection. Unlike many serial killers, Keyes rarely targeted people he knew. He avoided creating obvious patterns. Victims varied in age, gender, occupation, location. Investigators believe this randomness was intentional. He wanted police to struggle finding connections. He studied news coverage. He understood how criminal investigations worked. He deliberately avoided behaviors that could create evidence. Sometimes he flew to one city, committed a crime somewhere completely different, then returned home through another route. This strategy confused investigators for years because crimes committed hundreds of miles apart appeared completely unrelated. As long as there were no obvious links, no one realized a single offender might be responsible. One of the crimes later linked to Keyes occurred in June 2011. His victims were William Currier and Lorraine Currier. The married couple lived in Essex, Vermont. Late one evening, Keyes broke into their home. He kidnapped both victims, forced them into an abandoned farmhouse, then murdered them. The crime shocked investigators. There appeared to be no motive, no relationship, almost no physical evidence. For months, the couple simply vanished. Their bodies were never recovered. It was only after Keyes' arrest that investigators finally learned what had happened. His confession solved one of Vermont's most disturbing missing persons cases. Everything changed on February 1st, 2012. 18-year-old Samantha Koenig was working alone at a coffee stand in Anchorage, Alaska. Just before closing, Keyes approached. Armed with a handgun, he forced Samantha to leave the kiosk. Security cameras captured parts of the abduction. She disappeared into the freezing night. Investigators immediately launched a massive search, but they had almost nothing to work with. Meanwhile, Keyes drove hundreds of miles, committed elaborate steps to conceal the crime, then boarded a cruise ship as investigators searched Alaska. He appeared to be enjoying a vacation with his family. The contrast was chilling. During the cruise, he calmly sent text messages from Samantha's phone, attempting to convince family members she was still alive. The deception bought him valuable time. Keyes demanded a ransom. He instructed Samantha's family to deposit money into her bank account. Believing he remained invisible, he began withdrawing cash using her debit card. That single decision became his greatest mistake. Bank withdrawals created surveillance images, electronic records, and a trail stretching across multiple states. Investigators from the Federal Bureau of Investigation worked together with local police. They tracked the debit card, watched ATM footage, analyzed rental car records, cell phone activity, travel history. The puzzle slowly came together. On March 13, 2012, Texas Highway Patrol officers stopped Keyes near Lufkin, Texas. Inside his vehicle, police found Samantha's debit card, cash, weapons, and other incriminating evidence. The man who had spent years avoiding detection was finally under arrest. Once in custody, Keyes surprised investigators. He admitted killing Samantha, then slowly revealed additional murders, but he refused to tell everything. He enjoyed controlling the conversations. Sometimes he laughed, sometimes he changed subjects, other times he simply remained silent. Investigators believe he confessed to only a fraction of his crimes. The FBI eventually linked him to multiple murders, yet they also concluded the true number may never be known. His extensive travel history, hidden kill kits, and unexplained disappearances continue to fuel investigations today. While awaiting trial in Alaska, Keyes remained under close observation. Yet on December 2, 2012, he died by suicide in his jail cell before standing trial. His death permanently ended investigators' best chance to learn the full truth. He took countless answers with him. Families seeking closure were left with uncertainty, and many missing person cases across North America continue to be examined for possible links to him. Israel Keyes challenged many assumptions about serial killers. He did not seek publicity. He rarely chose victims who shared obvious characteristics. He carefully planned crimes years in advance, and he understood how modern investigations worked. His arrest solved several horrific crimes, but it also revealed something more disturbing. A man who had quietly traveled across the country for years, hiding evidence before crimes were even committed. Even today, law enforcement agencies continue reviewing unsolved disappearances that may be connected to him. The complete story of Israel Keyes may never be known, and that uncertainty remains one of the darkest parts of his legacy. Thank you for watching. If you found this documentary informative, consider subscribing for more carefully researched true crime stories based on verified facts, court records, and official investigations. Until next time, stay informed, stay vigilant, and remember that the most unsettling mysteries are often the ones hidden in plain sight.